Ilhan Omar's journey is a story of resilience, hope, and the power of perseverance in the face of overwhelming odds. Born in Somalia, she and her family were forced to flee their home as civil war erupted, leaving behind everything they knew. They spent 4 long, uncertain years in a Kenyan refugee camp, where daily life was a struggle for survival. In 1995, seeking safety and a new beginning, they arrived in the United States, carrying little more than hope for a better future. Settling in Minneapolis, Omar quickly became involved in her community. She began her political career as a community organizer and policy aide, working tirelessly to amplify the voices of immigrants and marginalized groups. Her passion and dedication soon earned her a reputation as a fierce advocate for justice and equality. In 2016, Omar made history as the first Somali-American legislator in the United States, elected to the Minnesota House of Representatives. Her victory was celebrated not just by her community, but by people across the country who saw her as a symbol of possibility. Just 2 years later, she achieved another milestone, winning a seat in Congress to represent Minnesota's 5th district. She joined the progressive group known as the Squad, a coalition of young, diverse lawmakers pushing for bold change in Washington. Her election was groundbreaking. She became one of the first 2 Muslim women and the very first Somali American to serve in Congress, breaking barriers and inspiring countless others. Omar's personal background, marked by student loan debt, a negative net worth, and first-hand experience with the challenges of starting over, helped her connect with voters. She was seen as someone who truly understood the everyday struggles of working families. She was not a product of privilege but of perseverance, determination, and a deep commitment to public service. However, her rapid rise to national prominence brought intense scrutiny. Every statement she made and every financial disclosure she filed was examined by critics and the media, eager to find fault or controversy. As her influence in Congress grew, so did questions about her personal and financial life, with opponents and journalists alike digging into her records. The inspiring story of a refugee-turned-congresswoman placed her squarely in the national spotlight, making her both a role model and a target. Soon, questions about her finances would emerge, setting the stage for a contentious and highly publicized debate about her conduct and transparency. Omar's journey from refugee to Congress was nothing short of remarkable, but as she would soon discover, it was only the beginning of the challenges she would face on the national stage. When Ilhan Omar entered Congress in 2019, her financial disclosures painted a striking picture. She had a negative net worth, largely due to the burden of student loans. Unlike many of her colleagues, she wasn't coming into office with a fortune or a long list of lucrative investments. She was widely seen as a true public servant, someone who understood the struggles of everyday Americans. This background reinforced her image as a representative of ordinary people, not the wealthy elite, and made her relatable to many voters who felt left behind by the political system. But by 2024, everything had changed. Omar's financial situation had undergone a dramatic transformation, surprising both supporters and critics alike. Together with her husband, Tim Minot, Omar reported a combined net worth that now ranged anywhere from $6 to $30 million, a staggering leap in just 5 years. This rapid and unexpected transformation immediately raised questions and drew intense scrutiny from the media, watchdog groups, and the public. The leap from being in debt to becoming a multimillionaire was staggering, especially since her congressional salary alone couldn't possibly account for such a dramatic increase in wealth. The source of this newfound wealth, it was traced to her husband's business ventures, which had experienced explosive growth during this period, raising even more eyebrows. The timing of these revelations was especially controversial. Just months earlier, Omar had publicly denied being a millionaire, insisting her finances were modest. The contradiction between her public statements and her financial disclosures fueled a wave of criticism, with many accusing her of lacking transparency and honesty. As the story unfolded, the focus shifted from Omar's own actions to the mysterious and rapid success of her husband's business, which seemed to defy easy explanation. How did this financial turnaround happen so quickly, and what was really behind it? For critics and observers, the answer remained elusive, leaving more questions than answers about this remarkable financial transformation. The main driver of Omar and Minet's wealth was Rose Lake Capital, Minet's venture capital firm. This company quickly became the centerpiece of their financial story, drawing attention from both industry insiders and the public. Founded in 2022, Rose Lake Capital was initially valued at under $1,000 in 2023. Then, in a stunning turn, its valuation soared to somewhere between $5 million and $25 million just a year later. Such a dramatic leap in value is almost unheard of for a new firm, especially one with little public track record. The firm's meteoric rise, despite being registered at a WeWork in DC, baffled financial observers. Many questioned how a company operating out of a shared office space could achieve such rapid growth, raising eyebrows across the financial sector. Adding to the mystery, the firm's website quietly removed the names of 9 high-profile advisors, including former Obama-era officials, without explanation. This sudden erasure of prominent figures only deepened suspicions about the company's operations and intentions. This lack of transparency fueled speculation about the firm's legitimacy. Journalists and analysts began to dig deeper, searching for answers that remained elusive. Meanwhile, Minet's California winery, EST Crew, also saw its value jump from $15,000, $50,000 to as much as $5 million, despite appearing inactive. The winery's sudden increase in worth was as puzzling as the venture firm's. Its website was broken and the phone disconnected, odd for a business supposedly thriving. There were no signs of recent activity, making the valuation spike even more questionable. Complicating matters, Minet settled a civil fraud lawsuit related to the winery for nearly $900,000, though he denied wrongdoing. The settlement added another layer of intrigue to the unfolding story. The combination of a rapidly growing venture firm, a seemingly defunct winery, and legal troubles created a complex financial picture. Observers struggled to make sense of how these pieces fit together. Critics argued these unexplained surges in value demanded deeper investigation. They called for more scrutiny, suggesting that the public deserved clear answers about the origins of this wealth. The couple's wealth, built on these ventures, became a central controversy, raising questions not just about their business dealings, but about the broader world of high finance and political connections. While Omar's finances drew attention, Minnesota was rocked by the largest pandemic-related fraud in U.S. history. The Feeding Our Future scandal involved hundreds of millions stolen from a federal child nutrition program through fake meal sites and inflated numbers. The fraud's epicenter was Omar's district, with many implicated from the local Somali American community. Though Omar was never accused of wrongdoing, the scandal's proximity intensified scrutiny on her. The overlap between the fraud and her district fueled political attacks and questions about oversight. The scandal became a backdrop for growing concerns about accountability and transparency. The controversy deepened when several people convicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal had direct ties to Omar's campaigns. Salim Ahmed Saeed, co-owner of Safari Restaurant, site of Omar's 2018 victory party, was convicted of stealing over $12 million from the meal program. Video showed Omar praising the program at Saeed's restaurant, creating a powerful image for critics. Another, Guhad Hashi Saeed, worked on her campaigns and pleaded guilty to pocketing millions from fake food sites. Omar's campaign also received donations from convicted fraudsters, which were later returned. While there's no evidence Omar knew of their crimes, the connections raised questions about her campaign's vetting and judgment. For critics, the web of ties was uncomfortably close. In early 2020, Omar introduced the Meals Act to help feed children during COVID-19 school closures. The bill allowed states more flexibility in distributing food, aiming to cut red tape and prevent child hunger. Supporters saw it as a compassionate, bipartisan response to crisis. But, after the Minnesota fraud, critics argued the act's relaxed oversight enabled the massive scam. They claimed waivers, like not requiring children to be present, created loopholes for abuse. The debate became whether the Meals Act was a lifeline or a legislative misstep that opened the door to fraud. The controversy highlighted the challenge of balancing emergency aid with accountability. Omar's defense is clear. Her wealth comes from her husband's businesses, not her congressional work. Supporters argue the valuations reflect the volatile world of venture capital, not hidden income. They say her denial of millionaire status referred to liquid assets, not business valuations. On the Meals Act, Omar insists it was vital to prevent child hunger, blaming fraud on criminals and failed state oversight. Her office stresses she had no knowledge of the fraudsters' crimes and returned any tainted donations. Omar's team frames her as unfairly targeted because of her district and associations, not her actions. The debate over her responsibility and transparency remains heated. By late 2025, Omar's finances and the Minnesota fraud scandal left many questions unanswered. Her family's net worth soared, mainly due to her husband's businesses, but the legitimacy of these valuations is still debated. No evidence links Omar or her husband to criminal activity, but critics demand more transparency. Key questions remain. How did Manette's firms grow so fast? Why did partners disappear? What explains the winery's sudden value? Investigations continue, but for now, the public must weigh facts against speculation. Until more answers emerge, the debate over Omar's wealth and influence is far from over.